Hey guys, what's up? What is up? What is up? Hope everybody's doing well. This is gonna be one of those. Yeah, it's gonna be. It'll be one of those. Yeah, I can't even think right now. Sorry guys. It's just gonna be a daily update, real quick, and I'll come back a little bit later on with another live stream. We do have some stuff to talk about though. Okay, guys. I do think we must be stuck on a screen here. Let me, okay. No, we're not. We're good. We are good. We are good. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I will pull up the chat right quick like. Let's see here. See if anybody has anything that they need to say. And, yeah, we will, do that. Let's do it over here. Okay. So, yeah, guys, I'm gonna try to keep this short, guys, and we'll get it back later on with the live stream, okay? Hopefully that'll work out for everybody, and guys, I think this is gonna work out for everybody. I really do. I've been talking to a few other people today, so yeah. What's up, Rip? Christine, good to see you guys in here. Knowledge 2020, good to see you. Dolores, Sig, hey guys. How y'all doing? I know this is kind of a little early for me to be doing anything, but I figured I'll try to do these update streams about this early. So, guys, please hold down the chat for me, and I'm going to go ahead and get into this, okay, guys? Hopefully you guys can, I know you guys can handle it, so we will just do it that way. Let's see here. Let me get back to, okay, yeah, we're good there. All right, I just wanted to make sure that that was showing, and we are good to go. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. We're good. All right. We got the Schumann going on here, guys. Nothing more than what I had yesterday for you guys, other than the fact that we are, increasingly every day we are seeing more and more of the haze look on here, which means that there's a steady increase in the frequency overall. Okay, no spiking, but just an overall increase in intensity of all of these frequencies that you're seeing right here. Okay, that's what that means. When we see the spikes, that means it jumps up. If you guys look down here in the bottom left, you'll see where it says 40 hertz. There are a lot of other Schumann tools out there, guys, and I've explained this a bunch, but I want people that are new to kind of understand that too. This is a compilation of many stations that report back into this model, and they take the average, and that's what they plot the point with. That's why when we see things on here that don't look right, we really take notice, because all 10 or however many stations it was had to come up with some sort of an average between those stations to see that kind of a signature. It's not just one little spot. This is like a overall thing here in this area of the world. Now, like I said, guys, there's other tools out there we can go look at that show the Schumann. You can actually get these things for yourself, believe it or not. I'm not sure exactly how expensive they are, but that is what it is, But for what we look at, this is good enough for what we need to see usually, because this does show us a lot. This is probably one of the older ones that's been out there. But I think there's one in Italy, Spain. There's, people that run these sites. So, okay, space weather. This is obviously why most people are here. We will get into that right here. This right here, guys, you got the solar X-ray flux. There's really not a whole lot going on, okay, when it comes to that kind of a thing. We're not seeing too many X-rays. Our base level is actually kind of low a little bit. Ham radio operators don't like when we don't have some of this stuff going on. Okay? And they need this up here to get their radio propagation up, which means that they got a better, easier way of communicating. They don't, first responders use this type of communication systems, CBs, ham radio operators, ham radio, all that kind of stuff, right? So we need some of this stuff hopping around, all right? So people that do that, they really monitor this daily, okay, or hourly really, because it can go, you know, up down very very quickly. Geomagnetic activity, you can still see where we're staying active, is what I'm going to say. We had a little bump right here, but I'm going to be interested to see this next bar. When I come back on later on tonight with the live stream, I'm going to be very surprised if this bar here doesn't shoot up some. I think it's at least going to go back up to a 4, if not further. Because I'm seeing some stuff on the magnetopause right now that just happened that, yeah. So I'll show it to you guys here in a minute. But so we got the ACE data. Now, guys, look at that. Their range is still way, way large. Let me, okay. So you see how, you know, 200 to 1400, that's a big range to be looking at. Just about anything you put on this graph when it's that big of a range is going to look like a straight line. You're not going to see too much variability. If we've seen a bunch of variability on a range of that large, we're having some issues, okay? So I think what's happened here is you see this one little dot. You see that dot right there? I think that one little dot, which would have been a false reading anyway, because it was around when the satellite loses communication and comes back on. I think that's why it's reading, this range is up that high. It had to for that one little data point. I think what we're going to see is once this little dot and time moves on, comes off the left side of the chart, you're going to see this thing like go from probably like 400 to 600 or something, 4 to 8 probably, somewhere around that range, right? But nevertheless, we're still running at about 600 right now. That is elevated. Okay, we can go up here and look at the actual speed. Well, it's at 504 this last reading, but we're running, you know, that's even the high end of normal, okay? So everybody knows. You know, sometimes we get solar weather at that speed, sometimes not. Now, we've been talking about this a little bit too, right? So something has happened on the sun there, has to have, or this still wouldn't be there. It's been there for 2 or 3 days now. I do think that this is actually probably something we need to pay attention to. Because the speed and the density went up roughly about the same time. We get a little density bump, and then the speed follows there shortly. Okay, you see where the peak is right on the change of day right here on the 5th, but here it's about halfway through the day. That's about a 12-hour lag. That isn't so out of the ordinary. Okay, but that's what we're seeing. Now remember, the top is just density. It's showing you nothing else. Okay, all it is telling you the density of the charged particles. And then, same thing on the bottom. Just velocity. It's just showing you how fast it's moving. That's it. It's telling you nothing else. So we got to keep that in mind. But I did find it interesting to see a signature like this. You got kind of like two little, I don't know. I don't want to call them orbs or spheres or anything like that. They're kind of round. That's what I'll say. All right. But yeah. So you can see how we, the velocity, you can see it kind of moving. Now here, you see this right here. This right here, when it gets to Earth, look what happens. That's right there where that hump is. Right? So if we watch this on the top, we can see, so right there where my cursor is when it first picked up this anomaly or whatever happened. Right? So it happened right there. Because it spirals through, and that's when it gets us right there. So whatever happened on the sun right here at that specific time a few days ago is what happened, right? I went and looked. I did see a small little ejection, but it wasn't nothing that I could see that would point me to this, but, I could miss it just like anybody else could. Especially if you're looking right at the sun. The sun really camouflages things rather well. The aurora, just like I talked about before, everything is kind of offset. It's not directly over the North Pole. I did, make note yesterday, guys. You guys heard me talk about it, that it did look like it was a little bit further off to the right than what it normally is. And as you can see, it has since then corrected itself. It's moved back to the left a little bit. So what we've seen a little bit of an anomaly there where it moved over about 15 degrees to the right for whatever reason. I'm not saying that all of our magnetics moved that far over. All I'm saying is where they were detecting auroras, it was moved over further than what we typically see. Now I'm talking about the overall picture here. We get a little bit of a wobble anyway because of our tilt. And yes, on the equinox we are tilted. You know, that's what basically gives us our seasons. Okay. So we're going to move on from that. Now here's the geoelectric field model. This isn't nothing too crazy, but it's nothing, you know, that we shouldn't be looking at either. You know, so you got that, and it's not even different what we've been seeing the past few days with all the solar weather around. It doesn't seem to be as intense as what we were getting, but you can kind of see we're still getting some. Now, if you guys remember when I first started showing you guys this tool, it was all blue. It was, the darker blues was always there. Very seldom do we see this. And then we seen Troy. He caught that one thing. Remember over here where we're getting those. I don't even want to say it, but yeah, over here in California where we were getting the fires and stuff last year, and you know this year now. But Troy caught it over here, and it was pinpointed right there. All the geoelectric field was really getting stressed right there. It was in purples and whites and everything else right down here. It didn't last very long, and it's amazing we even caught it. Troy was on his toes because, man, this thing, we can't go back and look at the history on it. If we don't catch it right when it happens, we don't get to see it. So he just happened to look at it at the right time. And he was, you know, he had to, forethought enough to record it and send it over to me, showed it to me, and that's when I brought it out, right? Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about, because this is, we are definitely going to talk about this. I didn't update that for a reason, okay? It might have updated on its own, but I want to pause it right there. Okay, I'm going to see when it first, man, it might have went too far. Okay. I think we're good. Let me look down here. Yeah, we are. Okay. So, we're going along, right? Remember I said we're up, elevated speed anyway. This is the velocity, right? So everything here is what we would expect to see with constant velocity increase from the sun, from a coronal hole or wherever it's coming from, right? But what I didn't expect to see was this. Okay, yeah, that doesn't look too awful bad, right? Yes, it was something we need to see. Things, kind of exploded out a little bit or whatever. But I'm not sure if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, okay? And I'll explain to you guys that here in just a second. I want you guys to be able to see this real quick all the way through. Okay? You can see how it started to calm back down. And then we did it again. Right? Just little waves of stuff, right? Nothing too huge. So I'm going to bring it back to the beginning. What I want you guys to look at here, again, we got it like a saw blade look here and not on the top. Why? I would really love to know that. And I can't get any explanation from anything. I sent some emails off, and I'm not getting any explanation at all. So, what are we looking at there, right? But what I want to show you guys is you got an increase in velocity here that is staying constant, right? But watch what happens. Okay, do you see what's happening there? We're pushing out, right? Well, why didn't we get anything from the front first? Usually we get compression and then rapid expansion. We didn't see that this time. And watch what happens. Bam! I mean, we push out hard. And then we see this little bit right there, right? See that? So, I don't know why. My guess is sometimes we do see a little bit of a, how can I put this? Our magnetopause will actually start to react right before we get solar weather sometimes. It's like it's a precursor. It's like it knows it's coming. It's like it's got a, I don't know, some sort of, it's an anomaly that happens, right? So right after we pushed out real hard, yes, we got hit. Okay, now this is why I'm telling you that I think we're gonna have to watch that geomagnetic level there. The next update on that one. Okay, because this wasn't something. This was pretty significant. This could have put us up in the storm level for a minute. All right, notice how the speed got really crazy here off to the side, and again, we're getting directional stuff. It's not symmetrical, not very symmetrical at all. I remember a day when I could come over here, fire this thing up, and you would watch it. It would be almost the exact same on the top as it was the bottom. I mean, it was very, very symmetrical. I mean, you can almost like guarantee it, but now you can't. So here's the density. Now this is really where, you know, the density was hanging out where it does, right? Watch this. Bam. Okay, so what happened there? Well, remember that white on here is low density. See the 0 up here? So we got hit with solar wind speed, solar wind, and it flushed out the density. It grabbed a lot of those particles and flushed them on out. That's why you see a lot of white on here. Okay, so if I back this up, there's something else that I really want you guys to see, but I'm going to show you guys that again first. Okay, bam, bam, right? That's that same hit. But what I noticed, remember we're in that McPherson anomaly season during the equinox where we get cracks in our magnetic field, right? Watch right in here. Now, I'm not saying that that's actually what happened right there. I'm just saying this does look like we had some sort of a difference of density right in that one spot. See that? Just in that one spot. So, not sure what's really causing that. It does not look like it got all the way through. It looks like it might have made it past our bow shock, but our actual magnetic field really took care of it there. Okay, it fended this off really well. But looking at these things, okay, remember our magnetic field is 20% weaker than what it really should be. That's an empirical fact. Nobody even denies that, and that's why we look at this thing. This is why we look at it so strenuously. So let me bring you back here to the pressure. Now remember, this is pressure, right? So okay. Here at the end, it went back kind of to normal. You guys see that? So I'm not really sure what's actually happening here on the pressure. I think I actually updated this one, and I wanted to show you guys the timestamp before this because it was doing the same thing as this. I took a video of it. I guess I can show it to you here in a minute, but I don't think I need to because you guys are seeing it here. So we go here to ISWA, and here's the radiation belts. And there's nothing really crack-a-lacking on these things either. Okay, nothing out of the ordinary. All right, so there's really no sense in wasting time trying to show people that. Coronal hole up here now. You see that? It's way up here. There are really no coronal holes facing us right now. Okay, things have closed back up. The atmosphere is kind of recovered on the sun. Here is the sun. Obviously, we will zoom in for you guys here so you can get a better look at this. Okay. You're not going to see a whole lot right here. There are some ejections happening, and we'll look at that on seeds. But I did notice another loop here kind of really get high. And it's almost like it wants to break. And, again, yeah, it's almost like we had a little bit of an ejection right there, right in the middle. But it wasn't nothing to be, like, freaking out about. So, over here on the 304, guys, you remember about 4 or 5 days ago I showed you guys this filament? Can you guys see that? There's a filament that big. Look at that. Now, I know it's probably hard for you guys to see, but what you're going to see, it's a little darker area, and it's string-like. Okay? But I showed this to you, 4 or 5 days ago when the end of it was kind of here, and it stretched out over this way. If this thing decides it wants to lift off and come our way or anybody's way, that could be some significant solar weather. Okay? You can run these down kind of like this. You can go like flares, CMEs, kind of in the same category. Then you got coronal holes, which gives us solar wind. And then you got these filaments that release off and basically give you a solar storm. Okay? That's kind of what you see when we get solar weather. Those are probably the top 3 things that we see. Okay? When it starts messing with our, X-rays or geomagnetic activity. That's where they come from, right? The coronal holes or the CMEs or solar flares or these filaments that lift off. Now remember, I'm using that word filament. It's just like in the old incandescent light bulbs. Very similar, at the basic level. There's got to be resistance in those filaments in the light bulbs to have the light and the heat that it generates, which was its purpose. So when that filament would break, the light would go out, right? Well, it's kind of the same thing here. So when the filament, positive and negative get too close to each other, and it bam, okay, that filament will lift off. Let's go back here for a minute. I forgot to show you the back side of this. Okay, so you got the other magnetopause models that I show you guys all the time. I'm going to pause it right there and bring it back. So as we go through here, you're not going to see a whole lot, guys. Okay, because things got pretty consistent. It was about 500 to 600 kilometers per second was the wind speed itself. But then we get that hit, which I think it'll probably show it. Yeah, right there. Okay. This thing is usually behind that other model. It takes it a minute to catch up. But there's nothing weird going on here or anything. This is just kind of normal. Now here's solar wind speed right there where my cursor is. But remember, I don't think we can really trust that 100%. Not on this model. So again, the only thing I would point out is this. Okay, we're still getting density differences in pretty significant matter there. All right. Okay, that's when we got hit. Watch, boom. Okay, and you see how everything changed around our planet too. Here's the spaghetti string model. That's what I call it. A lot of people call it that, I guess. The blue lines are your connection to the sun and other planetary bodies or celestial objects. The red lines are the closed field lines, and the black lines are our pole lines. They come off our north and south pole. There's just really not a whole lot to show you here on this part right now, which is fine. It's just what it is, right? Here's the Australian model. Watch this. This thing is going to start bouncing around. You're going to see it do something like really bounce here in just a second. It only does it for a second, but that's when we took that hit. I was watching it when it was doing it, and we really didn't move a whole lot in speed or density. So I'm really kind of confused on why we took a hit there. Did you guys see that? It was real quick. I mean, bam. And now it's back to that. So and we'll watch it one more time. And I'll point out to you when it does this little flick, because it will. Right there, you see it? I mean, just barely. Bam, bam. And it probably wouldn't even have seen it, but this thing gives us an update every minute. So, that's just another way to look at it, guys. That's all. This is SDO. I'm going to push play. Bring it up here for you. Again, you're not going to see a whole lot. This is like a 3-day loop. Again, we watch the sides. And you see that speed up like that? What happened there is it missed time. There's some data missing. Okay, so it jumped forward real quick like. But there was some little ejections popping off here and there. Nothing really too crazy that I seen, at least on SDO. Now we get into seeds. Okay, I kind of showed this a little bit yesterday. This is on the 30th, and you're going to see a little ejections going on here, right? Nothing big. I'm not sure if it's coming at us or not. I still don't have enough data to be definitive on that. It does look like this might, because you can see how that stretches out that far. And I do think it's coming, at least this direction, like this. And I'll show you why in a minute. Guys, if you heard that, I'm sorry. They're out there mowing my grass, so I can't really do much about that. Alright, so this is the next day. This is the first. So there you go. Not a whole lot. Not on this one. So let's go look at stereo A. It's the 30th, and this is why I think it could be coming at us, because now, Earth's over here, and we looked at the other one, Earth was, facing it. So if this was like going actually to the right, it would have on this one, it would have looked like it was kind of going backwards this way or this way. It would not come this direction is what I'm trying to say. Not typically. So you can kind of see what's going on here. This may be why we're seeing that hump in the Endel model. Not really for sure. But here's today, and you can see. Now we're getting that same little ball, signature again. We're getting a lot of CMEs like that lately. Small little CMEs that have these in it. Not really sure what that's all about. Our object could be out here messing with us or whatever, but why is it still taking that shape all the time? Past few CMEs anyway. So, power outages again, guys. Obviously out here in California, it's gonna be wildfires. We know that, right? But we're still got power outages here in Maine. So we got 12,000 people without power. Now they dropped down from like 44,000 yesterday, just so everybody understands that. Now you guys remember when I did my live show yesterday, guys, Dutch had already been on talking about this swarm, and I didn't even know it was even going on, right? Sorry about that, guys. They're really out there right up next to the house right now. So that just happened right there. That was in New Mexico. It's kind of odd. That's a pretty big one for right there. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one, guys. That is in an odd spot. Now that was today, about 3 o'clock. Yeah, it just happened about 45 minutes ago. You got this one here in Tennessee now. That just happened. Well, I was back on the 26th. I got this on the 7-day thing here. The red ones did just happen. So that's in New Mexico, and this one here is in obviously that's California. Now that's where the swarm is. Okay. Now you guys remember when I was showing this to you guys yesterday, if you guys were able to catch it. Dutch did a really good explanation on it today. There are a lot of farms over here, but there's volcanic action. He was talking about magma. There was he was saying that there was a hot spot here like 4 hours before the swarm started. So that's something that he's been paying close attention to for many years. Okay, but right now we're still getting stuff here. So it makes you wonder what the heck is going on with that. So okay, that is the update, guys. Yeah, Dutch is Dutch is doing a premiere. It's not a live show. He filmed that and it's premiering. It'll say that it's live, but it's not live. He's probably in the chat watching his own show, and that's why you do that, so you can be there and communicate with people if you need to. So that's what's going on with that. That's why he's probably in there. I'm gonna get this over to this. Transfer this over to transition that. So yeah, guys. Again, not really sure on the earthquake thing, but we just gotta stay the course, guys. Anybody got any questions or anything like that? Yeah, Third, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Guys, I will be back in a couple hours with another show. I actually have some stuff I really want to talk to you guys about. Yeah. Christine, 3rd MP Ward. Good to see you, MP. Casper. Really, George? Wow. Thanks, Tutu. Appreciate that, Sig. Good to see you. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it, Sig? That's a crazy anomaly, man. I tell you what I could do. I think I got that. Do I have that running right now? Yeah, I got that on. That's where I got my OBS right now. Man, I wish them guys mowing the grass would get the heck out of here right now. Wow. Let's So yeah, I mean, I got Mark's station up there right now. It should be like this, going back and forth between Scott's and Mark's right now. I'm going to add some more. Oh, my wife. Thanks for asking, guys. I appreciate that. She's going to have surgery. She's going to have her gallbladder out. Here in the next week or so, they're going to get her in. So I do appreciate you guys asking. I do have some other stuff I'm going to talk to you guys about later on tonight. I need to talk to a few other people. A lot of people have been asking about Dr. Albers, and I'm going to be talking about that a little bit. She's fine, but I'm going to go into some stuff. Scott's asked me to mention it a little bit and see what's going on. She hasn't been feeling the best, okay, guys? A lot of people have been asking lots of questions, okay? I'm not going to be able to give you any answers right now, okay? She's just not feeling well. I'll be able to go a little bit more in depth later on, and that's what, I don't want to make this about that. This is an update for people, so I'm going to try to keep this short. But anybody wants to, kind of pop in and check it out later to see how, see what I got to say about that, more than welcome to. But just know, she's okay for right now. She is not feeling well though. All right. So we'll go over that a little bit later on. With that being said, guys, God bless. I'll come back on. Thanks, mods, for being here. Thanks anybody that needed the update. I hope everybody appreciates it and can get something out of it. I really hope that this kind of format is working for people. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Guys, and I know everybody loves Dr. Albers, and that's, we didn't really have a whole lot of anything to go off of for a while here, okay? Me and Scott both trying to figure out what's going on and all that kind of thing, and she was taking a big break. That's pretty much what it boils down to, but she's not feeling well, and I'll go more into detail later on, okay, guys? Scott wants me to give you guys some sort of an update on that and what's going on, because he's getting a lot of questions and stuff, so please come back later on, because I want to share some stuff with you, so just be there, man. All right, guys? God bless. Yeah. Thank you, Bubba News. Have you started making your videos back yet? I haven't seen anything. To be honest, I haven't been over there in the last week or so to see if you've posted any videos. I'll have to go check it out. Guys, I am going to end this though, because that's the purpose of this. I want to make it kind of small. I'll talk to all you guys. You guys come back to the live show, okay, guys? God bless. Yahuwah saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.